Okay, guys, so I'm going to try and do some problem solving using my husband's Microsoft Surface. And so I wanted to do the example question that was on the PowerPoint video lesson that I have posted. The example question was, so this is, I should just put a title here, genetics problems. And problem number 1 is in a pea plant, purple flowers are dominant to or over white flowers. If a heterozygous plant is crossed with a white plant, determine the phenotypes of the offspring. So that's the problem. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is, following those steps on that PowerPoint, is we need to state the symbols for the alleles. So purple flowers are dominant, so I'm going to use capital P to represent the purple flowers and lowercase p to represent the white flowers. And then the next step is that we are supposed to determine the genotypes of the parents. So genotypes of parents. Okay, so one of them is a heterozygous plant. So heterozygous plant would be that would have a genotype of a capital G and a lowercase. Oh my goodness, what am I talking about? Not G, uppercase P and a lowercase p. That's a heterozygous. And this parent is crossed with the other parent, which is a white plant. We know that the white plants are they are recessive, and they have to be homozygous recessive, because if you have the big P allele in the genotype, that big P will be purple for sure, no matter what. It will mask this little p. And so the white flowers, we know them, they are recessive, and they are represented by homozygous white plant, so which is small p, or lowercase p. Okay, so this is your, I'll just put this heterozygous genotype. Okay, and this is your homozygous genotype. Okay, and just a side note over here, big P would also be purple. Okay, and this is your homozygous dominant genotype. I should actually add this homozygous recessive genotype for that. The second, the next thing that we have to do is we have to place the parental genotypes into a Punnett square. So this is my Punnett square here. Okay, where we have, this is one parent. I'll just put P for parent. Actually, that's going to be really confusing because we're using P's. So let's just put this homozygous recessive parent on this side of the Punnett square and the heterozygous parent on the other side of the Punnett square. And now we're just going to work out what these combinations of alleles will be. So because you get one gamete each from each parent. So you're going to have big P, small p, big P, small p. And you're going to have, these two are small p. So this is small p, small p, small p, small p. Okay. And this is going to be your this is your cross. And these, basically these are your 4 offspring that are in that Punnett square. Okay. And the inside of the Punnett square shows the offspring's genotypes. Okay. So what we need to do now is, let's just add this to the slide. We're going to summarize the genotypes and the phenotypes of the offspring. So the genotypes, I'm just going to put a genotype ratio. I can also write genotypic ratio is basically 1 big P small p to 1 small p small p. You can see that there's 2 big P small p's to 2 small p's, but we can just reduce those 2's to 1. Okay, so they basically it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but phenotypically, actually in this case, phenotype phenotype ratio is also 1 purple to 1 white, because the big P will mask the little p, and the big P is purple, represents the purple flowers, and the little p's are the represent the white, and so you have the phenotype ratio of 1 purple to 1 white for the offspring. And the question was, determine the phenotypes of the offspring. So that's a ratio. You can also write it as a percentage. So you would say 50% purple to 50% white. Okay, you could also write it like that. And that's how we do the first type of problem. And we're going to do many more, and we will have lots of practice on this, okay?